Hi, it's Nancy welcoming you to Garden Scroll. Look at this little double hibiscus today. Two of them blooming. So pretty. This is a bright red and this is a light red or salmon pink from the same plant. Looking so good. It's amazing when you find something beautiful, even when the weather is still hot and you hate to be out here, and it actually makes it worth having come out here for. And I've been noticing a lot of these little Coleus are going to seed, and sometimes I just clip that off, but I think that this time I'm going to go around and see how much of it I can find and just put it in the envelope and have it at the ready. And I really do like to just go ahead and purchase them already started in the spring, and usually I can find some, but just in case I can't, I think it would be great to have some of these that I like so much in reserve. This one is a little seedling that came up from a seed from last year's Coleus, and I didn't plant it, it just planted itself. So, and look how pretty it is, but it actually has only gotten this filled out just in the last 2 or 3 weeks. It was just little, and that they're not that much until they put their growth on and look pretty in the fall. So that's why I like to go ahead and have them started in the spring, where they can look pretty spring and summer instead of just beginning to look pretty in the late summer or early fall. But this is a pretty one. I love this color, just the dark with the green around it. And I want to get this. This is a well, it's a little green ruffled Coleus. I'm not sure the name of it, but I like it a lot. And so I want to clip this off and save it too, just in case I should lose the ones I have. I would like an opportunity to keep them in the garden. And then this one is the beautiful Kong Coleus. My pastor's wife was mentioning it today and saying how pretty it was. I wish I could have showed her the other one that I planted, but it didn't even make it. But I'm seeing that it does have some seeds on it too, so I probably will try to get some of these and put them in envelopes and just have them at the ready, even if they don't get big and pretty until late in the season, if then. But I think it would be great just to have that as a reserve in case I can't find the ones I want in the springtime. And this little Coleus, I'm not sure what it's called, but it is such a beauty with that little ruffled edge on it. And this one is called Chocolate Covered Cherry, and it's also bright and beautiful. And these are hosta blooms. Mostly I just love the hostas. I could clip those off, but these are looking bright and pretty today. And I hope this little Colorsaurus Coleus will put me on some seed too, because it's kind of a favorite for me. It's relatively new to me. I think I've only had it maybe 4 or 5 years, and I didn't think I got it saved for this season, but there was a tiny little Coleus that you couldn't even really tell what color it was, but when it got up big enough that you could begin to see its coloring, it was easy to see it's a Colorsaurus. I took some pictures of my Coleus and taped them onto a paper envelope to save for next year the seeds, but I decided to take a look first, and I found someone on YouTube that said to wait until these are brown. So these are not brown yet, and they may not be ready. The ones usually when they turn brown, though, the seed falls, and so I don't want to lose it that way. But I'm going to keep an eye on some of these, actually all of the Coleuses, and see if I can save some seed. Today is August the 19th, and my husband and I went to the grocery store and to our local Walmart to get some supplies, and it was a little bit cloudy, and as we came home it was a little bit more cloudy, and I was like, oh Lord, please let it come on down. And we had not got the groceries in yet before it started raining. I was so happy. I don't deserve it. I know I don't. He's been so good to me this year as far as the rain goes. I feel like I'm in his favor because he gave me that rain and I didn't deserve that. How could I deserve that? Because he's let rain come more for me this season than he ever has since I've started gardening. I'm just spoiled. I'm a little bit spoiled. And that's not to say that there haven't been some hot, sweltery, awful feeling days when I've been out here and didn't feel like being, but I did it anyway. But still, this has definitely been the nicest summer I've had in the garden for him, taking care of it for me. So I came out to see how much rain we got, and I was expecting an eighth or maybe even under that, but look, we got a fourth of an inch of rain, and that's just wonderful. I may not have to water tomorrow. This is the way my clematis does, but look, keep looking. There you go. Look at that bright, beautiful blue. But it does get to looking pretty sad during the hot summer months. And I'm seeing over here, you see that white, the autumn clematis is beginning its bloom. But today I also wanted to talk a little bit about clematis, and I was thinking because I have these seed heads, it might be a good time to clip these off and put them in an envelope and let them dry there and save them for seed. But I decided to look that up first and make sure that I broke them off at a time when they were viable seeds, and I looked up a lady on YouTube talking about Coleus, and I will put her name down below so you can see what all she had to say about it. I totally liked it, and I also thought that, well, she said wait until these are brown. I have waited till some of them are brown before, and the seeds have fallen off and I've missed getting them, but I'm going to try to wait until they're brown and see if I can go ahead and get them then, and try to do it that way. I'll see what I can do with it, but I definitely would like to have all the Coleuses I have and then some in seed form so I can try starting them. And she also said to start them 12 weeks before your last frost date. So they'll be ready to go out in the garden when planting season time is here. But let me show you a few, and I know I've shown them to you along the way, but I'm going to try to get them kind of in a row here so you can see. This is the redhead Coleus. I do not know the names of all my Coleus, but I know this is the redhead, and I always want it in the garden. Right now the sky is still overcast, and these are not as bright as they will be when the sun hits them just right, but they are a lovely plant, and they definitely bring the they just stand out so much and shine so much. They make the whole garden shine. And then this little one here is a pretty little curly leaf with, it's got that bit of red and golden yellow right in with the green. I think this may end up being a favorite for me. This is the first time that I remember having it in the garden, and it's done well for me. And this is more of the same little Coleus. This is still the redhead Coleus. And this, I'm not sure the name of it either, but it's been a little beauty for me too. It's mostly just green with a little bit of burgundy and bright pink in there, and sometimes it has more of the look of a purple, a bright purple, but this has been a pretty Coleus for me too. And I hope I can get all of the Coleus that I have for you. This is new for me too. This the first time I've had it in my garden, and I really like it. It's that bright green is really set off with the broad edges in the deep kind of a brownish burgundy color. And I'm seeing that this one has a little seed head started right here, and they already have some back here. Actually, I went ahead and put several envelopes, and I took pictures and just put them down to like 2 by 3 and taped them onto that so that I can see what they are. Even if I can't remember the names of them, I'll know which Coleus it is by the picture. And I haven't yet seen any of the seed heads come up on this little Coleus, but I definitely want to have some of those to save, and I'll probably try to save just some of the plant and see. I don't have a lot of luck, but I have had some luck with them coming back from the plant itself, or just it lasting over winter and coming back out to live again. And it's also here in this pot. And there's this little bright, beautiful Coleus. And it feels so wonderful to be outside in the garden without the heat practically taking your breath away, and the only thought you're thinking is getting it water so you can get back in. I'm pretty sure the little plants themselves are feeling like, I wish this was over. And you know, I looked at the weather report yesterday, and it looked like we were going to have 4 days of cooler weather, and then go right back into the 90s. But today it had already changed, and it was like, after the 4 days of cooler weather, we're going to have some cooler weather. So that is another thing I'm thinking, surely the Lord has got me in his favor right now, and I'm loving it. And look at this bright yellow-green Coleus, and it just bunched up and looked so pretty. It was just a small little width of a Coleus, but has really taken off now that it's getting closer to when it'll have its most maturity on it. It's looking good. When I see all the beautiful colors of the Coleus, I think sometimes of the movie Working Girl, where Melanie Griffith told Harrison Ford's the character that he played about her best friend. Said, "Isn't she a riot?" And yes, this will definitely give you a riot of color. If you want color and you don't want to wait for blooms to come to get your color, Coleus is always in color. This is the strawberry drop Coleus. It is small, but it is so mighty. It just keeps on going and going and going. As long as it can live, it will be flourishing and getting bigger and dropping down more little panicles, or as in this case, it raised up. But most of the time they do trail. And this little Coleus is called Painter's Palette. Another thing about Coleuses is that you can find them for the shade or for the sun, and some that work well in either shade or sun, and they look so wonderful with other things too. We put them in an arrangement. They can definitely be the focal point. Let's see, what is it now? If you want an arrangement, you get thrillers, fillers, and spillers, and they're definitely a thriller. They can also be a filler in a pot too, though, but you can put them in with almost anything and they will just shine for you and make the rest of your pot to shine along with them. And even as much as I love this little plant and this little arrangement that I have here, I'm planning on putting this in sedum next year too, like I have almost everything. After you get away from the weeping willow tree, which gives me my shade for my house plants and the annuals that I want to put out here, which is a lot of these will be the Coleus, of course. But I definitely want some. They're just too beautiful and just work so well to totally miss them. But to make it easier on me, I'm going to try to get away from watering any farther than this. Now, I do have some newer plants, and until they are established, I'll probably water those. But they may be established after this year. We'll see how it goes, and if I think they still need a little bit more attention. But I'm glad that I'm getting to a point where most of the things this side of the weeping willow tree are established plants, and I think I can get by with not watering them every day, and maybe even less than every other day. We'll see how that will work. But this little container garden that I fixed right here with just sedum in it can show you that it can be very pretty too. This is Plum Dazzle, Angelonia. I'm not sure the name of this little sedum, but all put together it makes a very pretty arrangement in a pot, and it does not have to be watered every day. This little pot of sedum works wonderful too in that little pot, and it doesn't need watering every day. I actually have been watering this every day because I go ahead and water out here every day. So because I have a lot of my house plants and little pots that I just want to make sure. Look at that. I just love to see that water dripping down. I know that our rains are over for a little while. I don't know if you can see that it's dripping. I'm going to go over there so you can see that drip in the rain chain. And then I wanted to finish telling you too that this little plant, I think it's called Live Forever, and I learned that from one of the owners of Sunshine Nursery in Clinton, Oklahoma. But this little Live Forever plant does need some shade, but see, it's getting it under our redbud tree, and this little redbud tree, I hate to say, but it's got that one of those rust fungus on it. So, and I did get some of that on my lilac bush also. But I'm hoping that when it comes back in the spring, these will all fall off and they'll be fresh and new and be pretty again. So I'm also going to point out the Coleuses that I have here in the front. This is the Kong Coleus, you know, like King Kong, because it is so much bigger than the other Coleuses. This is a beautiful Coleus. Any of the colors of it is very pretty. I love the one that's got those, the watermelon colors is really, really bright and pretty. I like bright stuff, I guess. But it goes well with, like, this is the chocolate covered cherry Coleus, and look how well it goes with this impatient. And then this, and I don't know the name of it, but it's certainly lovely with its dark color, almost like velvet, and then the ruffles around it in the yellow green color. And this is just a little ruffled green with a purple, a deep purple veining in it. It's very pretty too. If you can ever get a deep purple flower to bloom close by it, that just makes it even more pretty. And you probably know this would be one of my favorites because of the bright, pretty pink, and it does not always be that bright of a pretty. You can see there's some pretty veining, pink veining in this, but this one actually has the bright, pretty pink color, and I love that. And this is just more of that. I don't know if this ever started out to be Strawberry Fields and just didn't have, and it lost its little strawberry color in the center, or if it's a whole different strand of a Coleus, but either way it's very pretty. I love the dark with the bright green, and of course with it being dark it makes the green look even brighter. But I really love this one too. But also this can show you how this doesn't get very big if it starts from a seed, and this one did start from a little volunteer seed, and it was not very big, just a few weeks or at least a couple of months ago, if it was even up and going for 2 months. I don't know if it has been, but close to that, I would say. But it has already gotten this big, so it'd definitely be worth it to have some seed from each of these in case we can't get some to winter over. And this little Coleus is called Coleus. It's one of my favorites too. Ever since I got one of these little plants, I've so wanted to keep another one in the garden. And this, of course, it's a different strand than the redhead Coleus, but it does have red, mostly red, and it's a beautiful little plant. This one has not done well. It's been stunted, but it seems like it's trying to go again, and I think it may be one of the copper-toned Coleus. And this Coleus is called Molten Lava. And this is a little bit more of it. It's on just the opposite side of the pot. And this Coleus is called Limelight. And I'm not sure of the name of this plant either. At one time it was Pineapple Coleus that was the name of the one I got that looks so similar to this, so it may be. But it's a very pretty Coleus too, and it is for sun or shade. It just does well. I can't believe how well Coleuses do in Oklahoma's summer heat. Oh, they do so much better than I do. If you can keep them watered, they'll keep going for you. So beautiful. These colors are a standout in the garden. And I'm also not sure of the name of this little Coleus, but it kind of seems a lot like the Coleus, only it's not as bright. Its veining is not as bright red or dark deep pink. It's more of a dark color, or maybe even a purple, a deep almost black purple. This little Coleus, I'm also not sure of the name of it, and last year was the first time I had this in my garden. It's kind of just a yellow green splashed with that burgundy red. And this is just more of that chocolate covered cherry. And this is another I don't know the name of, but it's been a little beauty this year. It's done very well here. And you can tell it has a brighter shade in some parts and a darker shade in the other. but it's all pretty. And I like the way the leaves are just kind of not quite ruffled, but definitely stand out from the rest of the plant. And this little Coleus is also a little beauty, so ruffled, and it has the dark color with the bright pink in the center of it. Another Coleus that I'm not sure what the name of it is, but it's another. They're just all so pretty to me. I love the way they have different variegations of color in them and mixtures of color, and the way they stand out when put up against another plant. And just, you know, it's one of those things of what's not to love. I almost missed this pretty little bright red Coleus with a little lime green edging on it. This one has not done so well for me this year. I bought it on a closeout, and it's just kind of sit there, but it hasn't died, and there may still be time for it to grow up and shine. And this is a little shade Coleus. It's doing well here too. I hope you have enjoyed the Coleus Riot of color. And maybe it'll inspire you to put some Coleus in your garden. Please be sure to like and to subscribe to the channel.